And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Blaze. I am joined here by Savannah the Banana. And this is Y'all Be Trippin' Big Kid Conversations. The conversation we are going to have today is about you and what's going on with you. You know how you go to the doctor to check on every part of your body, unless you're Hispanic or black, because then there's a very high chance that you don't. But for those who do, and those of you who know you should, you go to the doctor to check your health. You make sure your blood pressure. What the fuck is blood pressure? Anyway, blood pressure is right. You make sure you're getting your vitamins, minerals. Your weight is at a respectable number. That's good for your organs to function. You not got cancer. You're not dying. You know what we don't check on enough? As much as we check every single part of our body, and some of y'all check the part between your legs a little too much. Sometimes you got to check your brain. You ain't got to do scans. You ain't got to go through MRIs. I'm making up things because I don't remember any medical terms all of a sudden. Mental health is just as important as the physical because without the head, the body will fall. Savannah, would you agree?
I definitely agree. The head, the
Savannah?
brain is the control center of the whole body.
Exactly.
Why don't we put as much importance in our health, like how we do with our nutrition? Why don't we put that amount of importance into our mental health? And then why at the doctor? This is off track. Why at the doctor we got to pay extra for that shit too? Shouldn't that just be included?
I think that goes into the whole argument of insurance in general. Like, why do I have health insurance and then I have dental and vision insurance separately? Fam, all this shit is part of my body.
Exactly. So it should all be included.
There should be some basic level of insurance. And then, like, yeah, if you got extra specific stuff you got to do, sure. But
Mm.
general health, one person should be able to handle that. I shouldn't be going to three different people.
That
And
can
hell,
go
in the
into
case
so
of,
many.
yeah, also, like, your therapist. I think it's weird how everyone should have a primary care physician. Everyone should have a doctor that they go to.
It
Now,
should.
granted, we can get into the affordability and all that another time. We obviously know that's a problem, but we're saying what people should have is a doctor. But you
Exactly.
should also have a therapist.
Because you really can't talk to your friends nowadays. I know that sounds bad. There's some of us, there's a small few of us that have that one friend that we can go to about our mental health. But there's a lot of that don't. Like a lot of people in this world, they can't really sympathize with you or get where you're coming from unless they've gone through it. Or they don't
And
take the time to even.
that's an important factor sometimes. Like there's some things you can explain to people and it can help, but some things you have to be talking to someone who can understand it on a deeper level.
Yeah. I kind of
Like
want to
they have
say
to.
this. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't want to say that they're insensitive, but yeah, you got to find somebody that's going to be sensitive to your needs and wanting to listen to what you have to say. Because a lot of people don't give a fuck. That's the
I
plain
mean,
truth.
yeah.
They really don't. They say they care, but they slick don't. Or they just have a lot on their plate as well. And they just can't take that. And I've been in that position definitely, where I have so much on my plate that I really can't take anybody else's mental health problems. Like just even like listening to that puts a weight on you, especially if you're a person that really cares about your friends. It's just like, oh, I can't take that. I can't take to know that you're going through that. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just, mental health is real, y'all.
And that's the beauty of the therapist is that's specifically what they're there for. It's like
Mm.
any other problem you have when you go to the professional. This is what they do. This is what they're here for. You don't have the problem. So you shouldn't have to have some traumatic experience You shouldn't have to be going through something at the moment, even just to have a check in, maybe once a month, once every 3 months, just to make sure everything is okay. Because you can go to the doctor and they'll tell you every part of your body is fine and you're healthy, and you can't figure out why you want to kill yourself
Exactly.
because you
And
got some kind of problem going on that's just not physical.
what really sparked this topic for me as well, there was I don't know if you heard, David, about that. I don't really know much about her. I actually just saw it on Instagram. She it seemed like she was an influencer and a business owner. Her name was Raven.
Yeah, I did see it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she committed suicide. And I just was looking at just trying to get a backstory on who she was and all that, and just seeing the comments. Like one comment really pissed me off. I don't. They said, "I'm sorry, I don't have sympathy for people that do that." And it's just like, why do y'all think that they're doing it for you? Like, what? You don't have
Because
sympathy for people that do that? What?
they look at that's somebody who takes everything and then makes it personal.
Yeah, like they're
Like
saying that she's selfish. It's just like, no, y'all have no idea what goes through a person's head that does that. Like y'all have no idea, and you are so ignorant to say something like that. I feel like y'all are very ignorant to say that.
that's the best word because the key of ignorance is not knowing stuff. And
Yeah.
people literally don't know. You can't tell a person how they feel. You can't
Hmm.
tell a person what they're going through. I
And
say the closest thing you can do is tell somebody what they're doing, because that is more clear. You can physically see what they're doing.
exactly.
You can't tell somebody what's going on in their own head.
That's really what's the right word for that, David? Every time I don't know a word, David always knows what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But it's up. That's the best way
Okay,
I
well,
can say
yeah, okay, that's a good phrase to use.
it. It is. I was looking for a more sophisticated word for it,
Well,
but
we having big kid conversations. Okay, we can say swear words. You know, fuck. I said it.
yeah, it's very fucked up. It's just sad. Like, why do y'all make it about yourselves? Like how you said, they take it into it in a personal way. Like it's like I'm pretty sure she wasn't thinking about you guys, or maybe she was thinking too much about you guys before she did. Like you just
Exactly. And that's the thing. There's so many levels of variations to stuff like that and decisions like that. I remember seeing a story when I was a kid. There was this jeweler who he made jewelry for a lot of famous people.
mm,
So he was rich, he had a wife, kids. As far as you could tell, nothing was wrong in his life. One day he killed himself.
you just don't know what people are going through. That's the same with the girl. They said that she, as you can see from looking in, I mean, from the outside looking in, that, she had a good relationship, supposedly, a business owner. She was extremely beautiful. Um,
But see,
I think people
that
just see
that comes
that.
down. It comes down to that looking from the outside in, like how you can look at somebody who looks physically healthy and then they have cancer or high blood
Yeah,
pressure.
idea. And people just have different coping mechanisms as well. You know what I mean? Like how they get through the day, you know? And some people are like, oh, they didn't show symptoms. How was I supposed to know? It's just like, that's the sad part about it. You really just don't know.
There's so many people. There were people like, okay, COVID for example. There were people who had COVID and just died one day.
Yeah,
They weren't even like they weren't coughing, sneezing, nothing. They just didn't wake up
exactly.
because the world isn't that black and white to where everything is just what you see is what you get. That's just not how it works, unfortunately.
I feel like those are those people that judge and say, like, I have no sympathy. Those are the people that feel like, there's some people out there that just think that everything's black and white. It's just like, it's either this way or
Yeah,
that way. It's just
They think the world is that simple. Because if the world was that simple, it'd be a lot easier to live.
what I be on. It's just like if y'all really thought that, don't you think that a lot of the shit that's happening right now wouldn't be fucking happening? Like let's be completely honest. Like a lot of the shit in this world would not be happening if the world was so supposedly just black and white. Like
This
come
or
on.
that, that's it. No in between.
Yeah, it's just like you just can't. That doesn't make sense to you, so it just doesn't clearly make sense at all. Like I
Right. It
like
doesn't
those.
make sense to me, so it's wrong.
Right, like I wouldn't do that. So obviously, something is wrong with you to want to do that. It's just like no. It's just like you just don't understand.
And then that's
You
the
just
thing, like
don't understand.
we're all people and we all take things and dish things out differently. Like there are people who can take a punch to the face but can't take a punch to the stomach. There's people who
Yeah,
can take a punch to the stomach, can't take a punch to the face.
yeah,
We all have different things that hurt different ways. There's certain things we can handle, certain things we can't. There's certain things you can handle that I can't. There's certain things I can handle that you can't.
mm-hmm.
It's not. It's just not that simple. So it's no telling what actually happened. It could be something from when somebody is a kid, something that just happened yesterday, something that happened 3, 5, 10 years ago. The thought, or there are literally people who develop issues in their brain. Like
Yeah,
there's medications for certain things for a reason because there are certain things where it's literally out of your control.
yeah. It really is, and there's sometimes like, for instance, like after having a baby, a lot of women go through PTSD. I thought that, but after I had my son, I'm not gonna go through that. I'm gonna stay happy, but it literally just came up out of nowhere.
Because it's like people don't just the same way you go to the doctor and you got blood and organs. Your brain is another one of those organs where chemicals and things go on that you aren't doing. So it's
Exactly.
like you can just be like, "Fuck, why do I feel like this? Nothing even happened."
Exactly. Why am I crying?
Right?
What's
Like I'm sad. It's like that's another example. Women on their period, the
yes, that
emotions they can go through when nothing is happening.
mhm. That is the biggest one. And then there's always somebody saying that, oh, you got control it. No, we try.
And it's like
We surely
it's
do.
the world is just not that simple of a place. The body ain't that simple of a thing. And as simple minded as people are, we ain't that simple as a whole.
Pretty much. And also, let's stop commenting on things that we know that we can never connect with. Like, um, for me, a man getting kicked in the balls. I don't think I could ever connect with that. I'm not going to tell you how you should feel. I'm not going to tell you how you shouldn't feel
And it's like
because
a woman giving birth.
that,
Neither one of us have the body parts of the other person to even comprehend how that would feel.
yeah, that's the best way to put it. Like I can't even comprehend how it would feel. I'm sure it would hurt because it's your body,
Right.
but to the extent of how how badly it's gonna hurt, I have no
I would
idea.
have no clue.
Because obviously, if you kick me between the legs, that's gonna fucking hurt too.
Exactly.
You're
So
you're
it's,
kicking. So
it's just a feet hurt. And then,
it's just, let's just not comment on things that we just don't know nothing about.
and to branch on the other side of that, so we got into like we don't know what other people got going on. You don't know how other people feel. And sometimes you might need to talk to somebody because people might not know how you feel.
Right.
As far as that part that we just spoke on, the biggest thing you can do, the smartest thing you can do in life is talk when you know and don't talk when you don't.
Amen.
But
Save you a hell of a
what I
lot of
think
confusion and confrontation, possibly.
definitely confrontation because when you start speaking on things you don't know about, the people who do know, they feel a certain kind of way, especially when it's something serious.
They're gonna call you out.
Yeah, because it's like no, because you could be spreading some terrible misinformation and fuck around and fuck somebody's life up.
Very stupid shit.
But on the other side of that, things that you can do for yourself that you need to do. One thing I know I can't do sometimes I can't go on social media.
Really? I didn't know that.
It's sometimes where I see certain things and it's like I'm just not in the mood to see that.
I can understand that.
So
Yeah.
it's like I gotta let that go because I'm just gonna hurt myself. I'm gonna piss myself off. It's gonna trigger a feeling that I don't want to have. So I do it to myself.
Does it make sense that like I'm gonna always use social media, but I wish that it never existed.
Yeah, because
Things
it went from being social. Like I remember like 2007 when I first got a Facebook, and it would be me talking to my friends from school. Now with all the
right.
pictures and videos and all the stuff people post, and it turns into arguments, debates, people sharing fucked up videos. I'm not trying to go when I log into Twitter, I can scroll down and see regular tweets. I can see somebody talking about music. I can see porn. I can see somebody getting their head cut off, all in
Mm-hmm.
like 30 seconds.
Fuck your whole
And
head up.
it's just certain things. It's like sometimes you can handle certain things. Like okay, some people don't like to watch scary movies at night. It's a lot of stuff that falls into that same category of do things when you can handle them if you can handle them.
Exactly.
And there's just
That's
so many things that you just gotta take in consideration for yourself, for your mental health. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this or I'm not doing this.
don't give in to peer pressure. That's the biggest thing too. Just because
Yes.
everybody's doing it, no.
If everybody's doing it, but it's gonna make you feel some kind of way, hey, you just won't be doing it. It is what it is.
No. Always put yourself first. That's another thing as well. I'll just always put yourself first because you could also be one of those people that just, are always worried about everybody else. Taking in everybody else's problems, all of their drama. That can really drain a person. Okay? Remember, we're all made of energy, people. Okay? We're all made of energy. And energy can be bad energy, good energy can be transferred. So we have to be careful on the amount that we take in. I
Because
feel
when
like
you
I
got
also therapists, like I wonder what they do like after a day of clients and listening to all of their problems. You know what I mean?
that would be a good question to ask because that's something that they could pass on to regular people who just
Yeah,
need that in general.
really. Cause it's just like I
Because at
can't
the end of the
do.
day, we all have friends and family, and things will happen.
Hmm.
And like, why you shouldn't do it all the time, but sometimes it will happen where you need to hear things from people or they need to talk, and you gonna need a way for yourself afterwards.
Exactly. Like, what do you do with all that energy? How do you get rid of that?
Because after you listen to people tell you about the 85,000 things that happened to them, and then you got your own life that you got to live, and then you hear about all the crazy stuff happening in the world, it gets to a point where it's like it can start to get cloudy, it can start to get dark. It's like you got to decompress, you got to chill the fuck out.
Yeah. And that's even more of a reason to get a therapist. Like, for example, I had to stop listening to my friends talk about like awful things. I had to stop.
Yeah,
Find a way to get off the phone, or because it will take me to especially when it's about relationships and
yeah,
things that I've been through. It's and it's like, and also what pisses me off is that I went through this. Not mean like you shouldn't be talking about it, but like what to do.
right.
You know what
So it's
to
like
do. You know
it
it's not
makes
going
it
to
stressful.
Yeah, it makes it so stressful that you get irritated, and then it's just like I shouldn't have to feel like this. I'm gonna call you back, and I don't
Pretty
because
much.
sometimes it's just. And then also you should take the hint. Like I know who I can talk to about certain things, and I know who I can't. That's a big thing about reading the room and reading your friends. You should know who you can talk to and who you shouldn't. Like I have a lot of friends. I'm not gonna say are judgmental, but are a little more hard, I should say. Not even hard.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. They're a little more
Depending
hard.
on
So
the
I,
topic.
yeah, depending on the topic. So I know there's certain things that you know damn well, you know damn well
Exactly.
what to say, and you
And
can't be mad when they say
it's
it.
it's a big part of like how you drink water, you bathe, you eat certain foods you know are good for you. This falls all into that same thing of the same way you do healthy things in other parts of your life. There's certain things you got to do for your mental well being. Of like, I'm not gonna talk to this person about this because I know how that's gonna go, and it's not gonna be a productive conversation. Or I'm sorry, I can't listen to that right now. Like sometimes you just have to do things that's gonna be better for you.
Good
And,
example. I had some friends. I told them. I'm not even gonna call them friends. Some people. I told them that my dad died. Maybe I think that was like around 2015. So he died a year before that.
right.
And do you actually fucking think I want to sit here and hear y'all complain about y'all daddies? And it's like, mind you, stupid ass shit.
And it's like,
Like he wouldn't give me money for this, or he was just getting on me about this. I wanted to punch them both in the throat. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I want to punch them in the fucking throat. Like read a room.
and
Read.
that's the perfect idea of like for both sides. It's like on one side, it's one of those situations where it's like, all right, I need to leave because y'all clearly aren't comprehending my experience. And on the other side, it's like, seriously, seriously.
Like seriously, shut the entire fuck up. Like I said. Like I just remember that was just so rude to me. Like I would never do that to somebody. I would just come on now, like use your brain, think. Like, is this an appropriate time to bring up this conversation? Is this an appropriate time? Is this appropriate person to have this conversation with?
Right. And that's the thing. It's like
Probably.
know who to talk to, know when to shut up. Just think. Think for a second. It's gonna get you so far.
Like my friends know I'm the very chill. Like they know I'm growing up as we all should. That I am more chill now. My friends know I've been through a lot of drama. I've been through a lot of heartbreak in my life. I just don't be with the bullshit. So they should already know I'm not the friend to come to for that
Right.
anymore. And I tried to give the hint to many of them, and many get it, some don't. I'm just not the friend that wants to hear that. I love to make my friends happy, and I love to let them know that I'm there for them. So that's my problem for not being able to communicate that well to them. But also, like I said, you should read the room because I know the things not to say to y'all. Like for
And
instance,
that's the biggest key. Is like you
yeah.
know who to talk to about certain problems, who not to when you can receive information because sometimes you just are not in the best state of mind yourself to listen to somebody else.
Like
Because all
we
that
all
do is make that person feel worse or then put more stress on yourself and then everybody's worse than when they
right,
started.
right. And we all have that one friend, that tells people's business, shit like that. Like for example, for that one friend, I know not to tell them nothing,
Yeah, and it's
nothing
like just do
that I
do
know.
is gonna be best for your brain.
Exactly. It's just you just need to just know who you're talking to. And that's why
So
it's really, really have a
o-
therapist.
overall, the theme for today was like take care of yourself at
Please
all
do.
costs. Sometimes it's gonna hurt people's feelings, but you got to do what's best for you.
Take a self care day, something. Because, like, you know what? Let me take that back. Not sometimes a therapist is not for everybody. Learn. There's there's so many ways you can do self care for yourself. Like everybody
Because
has a
you know you
self
better
care
than
lane.
you.
I like to say, like
You know
different.
you better than anybody else. So what are the things that are gonna make you feel better?
Exactly. It can be the weirdest thing. It doesn't matter because the only thing that matters is that it makes you feel good. Like for me, clean.
Exactly.
I like to clean when I'm upset. When I have anxiety,
Such a woman.
as such a woman, definitely. I like to get I like things when my anxiety is at the all time high. I love for things to be clean around me. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel like a weight is lifted off of me, so to
And
speak.
it's that simple sometimes. Like what is the at the end of the day, a lot of times we know what's gonna make us feel better, and you overthink. Like no, don't overthink it. This is the
Sometimes
most important thing I can tell you. Think, don't not think and don't overthink. Just think and then put it into action.
pretty much because it's really that simple, y'all. Like don't put a lot into it. It could be as simple as using your favorite lotion after a nice long shower, lighting your favorite candle, type shit.
Man,
Really,
eat your favorite candy bar, man. Play a video game, watch some YouTube. You might just want to go on a walk.
yeah.
Whatever is gonna help your mental state be the best.
I'm telling you. And fuck what people have to say. Stop
Yeah,
caring about what everybody has to think because that
because
can really fuck yourself up as well. Because these people are miserable themselves. And
worrying about what everybody has to think is never gonna get you anywhere. Because you're not. It's 8 billion people in the world. We're not all about to agree on anything. You need to
we're
let that go
definitely,
now.
everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to see where you're coming from.
Like if I got 10 people right now and put them in the same room, they wouldn't even agree on pizza toppings, and that's only 10 people out of 8 billion. Like
Okay?
you need to let that go and be worried about you. Everybody else has to come second because if you ain't right, you ain't even good for nobody else anyway.
You're not. You're not going to be good for anybody.
Look, worry about yourself. That's I think that's the biggest part of the whole mental health thing. Worry about yourself. Stop being so concerned with everything but you.
Worry about yourself and everything else will fall into place. And
Man, because it's
putting you so much into these celebrities' lives. That's another thing I want to add. Stop it. Because they're not
and it's
worried
like
about
that's the thing. Stop putting other places that you ain't even put at home first. Take care of you first.
like I don't give a fuck who was breaking up with who gave a car back to who's fucking who. I don't care.
I
I'm a
got bills.
hero of this. Okay? They living their life, they doing all this scandalous stuff and they got millions of dollars supposedly. Cause now I heard that they wear fake jewelry. So it's like I said, don't put much thought into that shit.
Because then you'll be here all day, and then you're like, oh, I didn't get this thing done. I didn't do this thing. And I avoided all my problems instead of handling them. It's like, no, worry about yourself. Focus on you. Get your shit done. Do the work.
Okay? And
God damn
everything
it.
else will be all right.
All right. I think that's where we're going to end today's show. I'm about to eat so much food because I am hungry. Savannah, did
I'm
she
about to
just leave?
more than likely.
And take care of my mental health for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Savannah, any last words?
No, that's it. Just peace, love, and harmony.
Well, you guys, that's it for today's episode. I know this was a lot less joke. Don't laugh during my outro. How dare you? Anyway, we got very serious this week because as I always say, when in doubt, pinky out. But yeah, So these are big kid conversations. Sometimes it gets a little serious, sometimes it gets a little deep. But moral of today's story, take care of yourself before
Love,
anything else.
love yourself.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Love is love, blah, blah, blah. She got a girlfriend. We get it.
Wow, I didn't even. Y'all
Bye,
know, Dave.
Savannah.